Good afternoon and welcome back to Adventures for Anyone. And I'm here today to discuss why I take mass transit. A lot of my friends ask me this. I have a car to drive. Why do I have such a fascination with and love to take mass transit? Well, when my quest started, to be fair, I intend to move to Portugal for my retirement. That's one reason I have a YouTube channel, so subscribe, like, and subscribe. But I know that by the time I turn 75 or so, I'm not going to be able to drive anymore. And I know who I am, and I love to travel, and I know I'm still going to want to get around and go do things. So I decided that maybe I should start now to learn. And why, you ask? Well, because look at this subway system in New York. And then there's the PATH system in New Jersey Transit going over to New Jersey. Then there's 126 stations on the Long Island Railroad alone. And then there's several lines going up on Metro North into Connecticut and upstate New York. There's an entire ferry system. And when you get out of town and go someplace like Boston, well, look at all of this. So I decided that it would be a good idea to learn how to get around. And what I discovered when I started to teach myself this for future purposes was that I really enjoy it. I like not driving. I like not having to worry about all of that, and it is absolutely great. And no matter how you're traveling, whether it's Amtrak or it's Metro North, whatever it is, you sit there, you watch the traffic go by, and you're just not part of it. It's wonderful, and I am not alone. Over 4 million people take the New York subway every day. 1.4 million people take the New York City buses every day. 200,000 people take Metro North. Up to 300,000 people take Long Island Railroad. About 200,000 people take the PATH trains to New Jersey, and another 800,000 people use New Jersey Transit. Up to 20,000 people use the ferry system. And up to 70,000 people take the Staten Island Ferry every single day. In addition to that, 700,000 people take the Northeast Regional Amtrak train. Over 800,000 people use the Boston T. Over 3 million people a year take the Acela. So no matter where you're going, whether it's catching a PATH train down at the Oculus or some obscure Long Island Railroad station out by where they have the U.S. Open in Flushing, Queens, it's just easier and easier all the time to get around, because in the Northeast in particular, we have grand train halls like Moynihan train station here, and we have Grand Central, and we have Port Authority for the buses, and it's so easy to just get around. And we like to go here in the Northeast. We have a megalopolis that goes from Boston to Washington, and we have dozens of ways to get there that don't involve driving and paying tolls, congestion charges, bridge fees, or having an accident along the way. It's a wonderful way to avoid some of the weather, the traffic, the fees. It's absolutely great. So whether you're leaving from Penn Station, Grand Central Station, Moynihan Hall, Port Authority, the Oculus PATH trains, or any other way to get around, you can have a good experience and a little less stress is what I've found. It's a wonderful way to travel. So no matter what you think, one of these days we're all going to get old and we're not going to be able to go. And you might want to go to Fire Island in the summertime, or you might want to go on the Staten Island Ferry, or you might want to take the afternoon and go to Governor's Island. And to be fair, the islands you got to take a ferry to anyway. Not Staten Island, but Governor's Island you do. But there's so many things and so many ways to get you around, and you have historic buildings like the terminal at the Governor's Island Ferry. There's just always something to see and do. And even in Boston, you have ferries, you have the T, you have the buses, you have everything imaginable. And in New York, look at this map. These ferries will get you around. But there's other things, like there's trams, like at Roosevelt Island. This is included in the transit system. You can use your Omni card on this if you like and go over that way to Roosevelt Island. And once you're on Roosevelt Island, they got a free red bus. Takes you all over the place. So the best thing that you can do is to learn how to get around. I mean, look at the subway system in New York, 472 stations. And there's a lot going on, and it's interesting. It's more than necessary. You go from having the Queens lines running over your head at complicated plazas to having the Queensboro Bridge appear to have a subway come right up out of it. And it just goes on and on. So what it is that if you give up that sense of direction that you need when you're driving a car, and you learn to follow the signs on the subway, and you learn that it only takes $35 a week on the subway, it only takes $3 for a PATH train, you get great views when you're just taking that subway across the Manhattan Bridge, you're going to probably find that you really like what you're doing. I know I have. I didn't expect to become so fond of it. I didn't expect to spend my time talking about it here on Adventures for Anyone. But there you go. That's what happened. I'm seeing way more things than I used to when I just drove my car. When I was one of those people who thought I needed to drive my car everywhere. Which leaves us in Connecticut with only 14,000 people using our buses, 80,000 people using the New Haven line, 100,000 people using Connecticut Rail, but only 900 people use that East Shore line in a day. So don't poo-poo this. It's a stress reliever. It makes life an adventure. You see amazing things, and you will enjoy your time. And thank you for listening to me today. Hi, I'm Terry. Thank you for joining me today on Adventures for Anyone, and join me again in the future and like and subscribe if you like what you see here. And I can teach you where to go in the Northeast, how to have fun, and how to travel the way I do, which is as a budget traveler. Thank you again. Have a great day.